Hey everybody, great to have you back here in the fish tank. We're going through an alternative master perk. Today we're going to be going through the alternative master perk for Diona. If you watched my original video where I went through all the different perks, we included at the end of that video an example of how one of them worked. That was Diona. So you may have already seen this, but I just wanted to go over it again because I'm doing an individual video for each of them and it felt rude to ignore Diona. So what are we talking about with alternative master perks? You get a choice of a perk and you can choose which one you want depending on how the match is going, and you can make that decision all the way up to that perk is unlocked. So let's remind ourselves what the Diona one is. So Diona is the black potion, so this is an alternative perk 2. So every 15 seconds Ruffles will run to an enemy minion killed in your arena or on the bridge to dig up a potion. Once picked up, Ruffles turns into a werewolf. And of course this is a replacement for the original perk 2, which is where you get the health, the green, the purple, the mana, or the yellow, the XP potions. So instead of getting those, this time you get a werewolf, the black potion. So this is really interesting because, you know, which one is going to be more valuable? Also, you could argue that the werewolf is going to be super valuable to get. So that makes it more interesting because you're going to want to do everything you can to A, generate the potions, which means having stuff on your side, B, pick up the potions, and your opponent wants to try to prevent that as much as possible. So let's give that a whirl and see how it works. So I've just built a very quick Diona deck, not supposed to be good, just a very cheap cycle deck, and let's give it a go against the bot. Right, so as we've seen before, or maybe you haven't, if you're brand new, welcome, don't forget to subscribe. This is an alternative for perk 2, so with the UI we can go down to our perk 2 and we can change which one we want. So we've selected that as the black potion. Now we can rechange that at any point all the way up until it is unlocked. So depending on how the match is going, if we want to maybe try a slightly different strat, we can change our minds. But we've selected the black potion, and we will see how we do. A little bit late there on the taunt trap. So the rest of the perks will be the same. Get the regular traps and the double traps at perk 3.
Red has obtained their first perk.
Remember, once we get to perk 2, it will only drop the potions to the stuff dying on the bridge or on their side of the field. Our side of the field. Just basically the opposite of what I said. So sometimes we want to make sure that things come across to us so that we can generate these potions. Which is a little counterintuitive, but if we think how valuable a werewolf could be, then it might make sense to just allow something to come, neutralize, contest a bridge, and then we can get a werewolf potentially from it. Right, there we go, perk 2. Right, so this guy is on our side, so we can get a nice little wolf from him. Might get it from one of these guys, depending on what dies first. Okay, it was here. So we're going to get a werewolf here from the black potion. Boom. Okay. Should be a cooldown. I didn't notice if it was there or if it just went through really quickly. We'll see. See, this is a situation here where we've got a good push going. It's against the bot, so it's not really a great example, but we're going to allow her to come onto this side of the field so then we can get another potion.
Red got the second perk.
Okay, so it doesn't look like the cooldown is represented in it, but maybe it just hasn't been created yet, just added. Because remember, this is the PTR, we are testing these things out, so any issues we find, we can report back, and they can hopefully get fixed. Sorry if you can hear that dog. That might be a real life Ruffles. Right, so we should get another... Oh, there is a cooldown here. Okay, I've got it. So the cooldown starts when the wolf dies, not when you pick it up. Quite like that. That seems more of a balance thing than anything else. So you can't just farm out. That was one of my concerns. 15 seconds, a werewolf each time seemed strong. Right. So, there we go. We learned something just by testing it out, which I like. So that's the alternative perk for Ruffles, the black potion giving you a werewolf. Let me know in the comments as always, what do you think about this alternative perk? Is this something that you would consider playing if you're playing Diona? Would it be something that you're just going to say ahead of time, I'm always going to go for this? Because this seems like one of those that you don't necessarily have to build your deck around. It doesn't necessarily rely on what your opponent's doing. You might just straight out just say, I want this constantly. You might, if you're going for it, you might tech in a few more cards to maybe keep it alive, keep the potion alive, or keep Ruffles alive more specifically. But it seems like an interesting one. Yeah, as always, let me know. We are going through all of these, so let me know your favourites. And that's pretty much it. I'm Bad as a Fish, and I'll see you again soon here, again in the fish tank. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you're new here. The stats tell me that a lot of people are new here, so it would be great to have you to stick around. Make sure you put that bell on, and I'll keep you up to date on all things Minion Masters related.